In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn back. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistics. In linguistics, we commenced the chapter that is known as sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics is the study of the relationship between language and society. Today, I am going to teach you a variety. What is variety and how variety is different from dialect? What are some examples of variety and what are some examples of dialect that how they are having differences from each other? Listeners and audience, variety is a form of a language which is spoken by a particular group of people, often associated with a geographical region, social class, and ethnic group. It is different from dialect because it has register, jargons, and style. In dialect, it is also the part of the variety. Listeners and audience, variety may not mutually intelligible. Intelligible mean one variety may not understandable by another variety sometime. Or the speakers of one variety may not completely or fully understand the language, the words of another variety of the same language. Listeners and audience, before going to explain these aspects, let me tell you the main difference between dialect and variety. Then I will provide practical examples for understanding. The main difference between dialect and variety is that dialect is different with its phonological, grammatical, and lexical features. Dialect is having mutual intelligibility. It means dialect is mutual intelligible. Mutual intelligible mean that the speakers of one dialect can easily understand the dialects of another people. For example, in one dialect people they say, in Pashto language I am providing some example, Haga Chalde. This is the example of one dialect. Another dialect they say Haga Thulalede. Haga Talde Haga Thulalede. Another example is Haga Thulalede. So listeners and audience, only little differences are there. Though the meaning are the same, the meanings are the same and little differences. So that's why these three are different dialects in Pashto language, but they are intelligible, mutually intelligible. This is the first example. Another example would be Hagai Botalde. This is one dialect. Another dialect. Hagai Botalede. And the last example is Hagai Botalede. Now, let's come to the examples of variety. As I told you that variety is different. from dialect. Why? Because in variety we have register. In variety we have jargon. In variety we have style. Why? In dialect we don't have. Similarly, in variety, the words, particularly one variety, is not mutually intelligible with another variety. And we can also say in another words that varieties may not be mutually intelligible. It means the speakers of one variety, they may not completely or fully understand the words and vocabulary of another variety of the same language. I'm talking about Pashto language. For example, in Pashto, let me provide four examples. For example, one would be from, I'm going to erase it first, these examples. Listeners and audience, you see, for example, take the example of Yusuf Zai. Yusuf Zai dialect. Sorry, Yusuf Zai variety. That is spoken in Swat, KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So the example would be Dachi Karkave. The question is Dachi Karkave. In English, we say, what are you doing? Dachi Karkave, what are you doing? So this is Yusuf Zai variety. That is spoken in Swat. Another example that would be Kakar. Kakar variety. And this variety that is spoken, this variety in Afghanistan, for example, they say, da chikarde. Da chikarde. This is the second example. And the third example that is from Vardak variety. This Vardak variety that is spoken in Afghanistan, like the example would be Dachikarda. Dachikarda. It means, what are you doing? And the last example, that would be from Quetta. And the example would be okay. Dachikere. Dachikere. So listeners and writers, once again, I'm repeating these examples one by one. Yusuf Zai variety that is spoken in Pakistan, particularly in Swat. So when they are asking question in Pashto, they say Dachi Karkave. And this is Kakar variety that is spoken in Afghanistan, Dachi Karde. And another that is Vardak variety. This Vardak variety is spoken in Afghanistan, and that is Dachi Karda. Dachi Karda. And the next one that is Quetta, that is spoken in Balochistan, that Da Chikere or Da Chikere. So all these examples indicate that the language, particularly variety, they may not mutually intelligible, understandable. Hope that now you know about variety and the main difference between variety and dialect.